Hello and welcome to what could be the second A Slice of Cake. If you're hearing this, then hello. Welcome to a second episode of A Slice of Cake. If you're not hearing this, then I recorded this and then I promptly deleted it. But then you won't know that, so I don't know why I'm explaining this. I didn't make myself a tea. I didn't make myself a coffee. In fact, I really didn't think this idea through. I don't know, I haven't kind of done a video, just me talking to the camera since the first slice of cake, honestly. I was toying with the idea of trying to do those regularly, but honestly, that felt kind of forced. I feel these are more kind of videos that I would make as and when I feel like I kind of want to say something or muse about something. And I honestly, at the moment, other than, the fact that nothing seems to be going particularly well, I don't really have a lot of muse on, and I don't particularly just want to do doom and gloom videos, although I feel I could do this quite well at the moment. So I haven't sat down and done one, but I thought maybe I'll try it again. I'll give it a second go. I think the obvious thing to talk about, we're the 16th of December. We are well in the festive period, which starts at about the 1st of September these days, which is ridiculous. But we're well in it now. Everyone is trying to sell all of the whatever the crap it is they're trying to sell before the 25th. Food, booze, shitty gifts. And of course, I do... Now, when I say I miss this, I don't mean I'm pining for this. I miss this because I'm not in an office environment. What is nice about not being in an office environment is there's none of this forced festivity nonsense, this kind of forced happiness, right? The run up to the festive period, whether you celebrate it or not, is just it's a normal time of the year. Now, there are good things about events like this. These are the kind of events where you can try and get family together. You all kind of have, the UK, you got 2 guaranteed days off, the 25th and the 26th. So if you've got to travel around, of course, in the UK, it's fairly small to travel around, but it is a time to try and get family together. Whether or not that family wants to be together and whether or not that family should be together, are questions that I can't answer. But it is nice that it gives that there's kind of a time where you can just kind of say, well, yes, you can come for Christmas, but you don't come any other time, right? I don't have that option. One, I live on Guernsey, which is tiny. It's very hard to hide from anybody here. It takes you 20 minutes to get anywhere. It's not so good an excuse that, it would take a long time to get there. It would take a long 20 minutes. Guernsey families are more upfront. I just don't want to see you, so piss off. But yes, in the office environment especially, I found there used to be a lot of forced festive stuff, and I was never against it, but I never wanted to partake. I'm not a huge fan of the festive periods. I wasn't before my mother died. I definitely wasn't after my mother died. And for me, Christmas is for kids. We had the nephew. Well, I still have the nephew. That sounded dark. The nephew was young enough for a while where Christmas became interesting again. You're putting all the effort in for the nephew, but he's 17 now. He's just passed his driver license. He's driving around the island by himself. The festive nonsense doesn't really apply anymore. Now it's just he's getting gifts, and I feel there is a time in your life and in the timeline of a family where Christmas should just be allowed to become very much a non-event. Have a meal, have some drinks, go back to your own houses. Right? So I guess the easiest way to go through this and just kind of how I roll my eyes and I kind of, grin and bear it even. There you go. Is to go through a normal Christmas day. Well, let's start with the run up, right? So the run up for Christmas starts. My sister gets the tree. She buys a real Christmas tree every year. We always go up to her house ever since she's moved out. one, we don't have a kitchen here. We've been waiting 7 years for the kitchen to be reinstalled. I'm starting to think it's never going to happen. Actually, it might be more than 7 years now, but that's not the point of this story. So, get the tree. Normally first, second week of December. Every year, for some reason, I have to go up and help them put it in the stand, which made sense. Putting up a Christmas tree is kind of a two-person job if you're, trying to get the stand in the real tree and screw it into the wood and try and keep it straight. If you don't want it straight, it's a one-person job, no problem. But if you want it straight, two-person job, right? So for a while, fine. Why not? Even though another little kind of recap, I used to work at a garden centre way back in the day. And honestly, the garden centre is one of the few times where I've really enjoyed the Christmas period. They went all in, decorations, they sold the Christmas trees, all that kind of stuff. And they really went for it. And I don't know why, but I really enjoyed being on that side of it. And honestly, it's one of the few places where I've worked where everybody kind of got on and liked each other, to a person. And so it was a lot of fun, and Christmas just kind of heightened that. I was still at school, so I was working part-time. Christmas break was kind of like the only, and summer actually. I used to work all of the summer days as well, but Christmas was when I used to work 7 days a week. As soon as you break up from school, which used to be about a week before Christmas, used to work all the days, so you went back like sometime in January. Obviously Christmas and Boxing Day off, but other than that, and it was fun. But yeah, we used to wrap the Christmas trees through the old, you've probably been to the lots where they wrap the Christmas trees in the nets and they got the thing that looks like a jet engine and you kind of put it through and it goes woof. That was fun. That was fun to play with. It was fun to put people through. Bit dangerous. But that was always fun, and we always used to play games and see who could get trees through the quickest, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this is not the point of the story. The Christmas tree has to go up. My nephew, like I just said, is 17. He's like 6'3", 6'4", and he lives at the house where my sister lives. Between them, they can put the tree up, no problem. But for some reason, I always, even this year, I had to go up. I essentially did nothing, and then I came back home. Right? That I was not needed in that endeavor at all. And I'm not kind of one, it's a tradition. No, it's not, right? Just put the tree up yourself. I don't need to be involved anymore. But that's kind of where Christmas starts. And then comes the commercial aspect, I guess, where suddenly, all of a sudden, you got to go buy everything. You got to buy food. And it becomes this kind of military precision parade, which I kind of duck out of now, honestly, because I'm not interested. I try to be as happy as possible, but I'm really not interested in the festive period. But and so 2 weeks before, it's like you got this big war plan. It's D-Day, it's Christmas Day, it's X-Day. X-Day is either already controlled by Marvel and is National X-Men Day, or X-Day is the day when you just get really sad and think of your exes and drink booze and cry into beers. Unless you're in a happy relationship. If you're in a happy relationship and you're doing that with your exes, you might want to readdress that relationship. But anyway, again, not the point of the story. So there's a massive, we have to go and buy all the stuff that won't go off run, right? Bear in mind, this is a Christmas meal. Christmas meal, one day, Christmas meal for 5 people, which I will end up cooking. Regardless of anything else that happens, I will end up cooking this thing. They go to a massive shop of everything that, won't go off. Chocolates, peanuts, crisps, Christmas crackers, all this kind of nonsense. And it's a huge pain in the ass. Everybody gets on each other's nerves. It's terrible. And by the time Christmas comes, my sister and my nephew have eaten all of that stuff anyway, and we quickly have to go Christmas Eve and buy some more. So I don't know why we do this rigmarole every year, but we do. It's done. And then there'll be the big Christmas shop day, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 days before Christmas where you have to get your turkey. We don't do big turkey anymore. I did 2 full turkeys. They came out fine. It's just most people don't like a lot of the turkey meat. So we go for butterfly joints now for turkey. Very easy to cook. You don't have to get up at, stupid o'clock in the morning to make sure it's done by dinner time. It takes 2 hours in the oven, about 3.5 in my sister's oven because it's shit. And, you're done. Bing, bang, bosh. And then, you've got to get all the potatoes and stuff. But it becomes this big kind of event. We have to go do the shopping, which is essentially no worse than a week shop, which we can normally do by ourselves quite well. But because it's Christmas, everybody has to be involved for some reason. I don't get it. If we were going to have family Christmas traditions, I'd rather they weren't all about going to a supermarket to buy food. Right? But they are. Then will come the arguments about, because obviously we go out to my sister's. My sister is, I don't know if she just liked Christmas or wants to kind of copy what my mum used to do for Christmas. My mum loved Christmas. So, from, I don't know, probably about the 23rd to the 25th, 26th, it was Christmas. You could take it for those few days. But, and of course, the kind of shopping traditions comes from the fact that we did not have a car. When I was a child, we did not have a car. So a shop was a family event because you needed the arms to carry the bags, right? There was a necessity to the whole family going for the family shop. But anyway, again, not the point of the story. There will be the big family argument of when people are going up to my sister's house and if they're staying over, right? Because nobody wants to go up on Christmas Eve. Nobody wants to sleep there so we can open the presents at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Because none of us want to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? The nephew, the youngest, 17, would happily get up around 10, 11 o'clock, open presents, cook lunch, go home, right? And to me, that's what I'm basing Christmas on is, well, what does the nephew want? If the nephew wants to do something, fine, I'll celebrate Christmas. If the nephew doesn't want to do anything, I'll just stay in my shed and I'll just stream as normal. Miserable, maybe, but that's me. Get used to it. But my eldest sister, who's 43, 44, 45, something like that, she wants to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning to open the presents. For some reason, I don't understand, because that's the only bit of Christmas she enjoys. To her, Christmas is, I get up, we open presents, I leave, right? And you better have got me something I wanted, or I'm going to sulk for the rest of the day. And yes, this is still her at 45, right? I don't tend to buy anybody gifts anymore. One, I can't afford it, and two, I don't really want to. I'll get stuff for the nephew, and I might buy everyone else a Toblerone. Oh, spoilers, they don't watch this. But... But yes, it becomes this big thing. Well, come on Christmas Eve, we'll have a Chinese. They always have a big meal on Christmas Eve, even though you're going to have a big meal on Christmas. Never understood that. Come up to the house, have a Chinese. You can stay over. We can watch some awful British Christmas telly. I tend not to go. I ever go out with my friends to a pub and get drunk because I think that's a much more sensible thing to do Christmas Eve. Or I'll stay in and well, actually, the two normally go together. I normally go out, get drunk, come home, wrap Christmas presents, watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, and the Father Ted Christmas Special. That's my Christmas Eve tradition, and it's a good one. Anyway, but no, what I'm getting onto with Christmas really is the fact that it's built up, and people want it to be this perfect day, and that's never going to happen, right? Unless you get on with your family and you always have perfect days, a la the Brady Bunch. I mean, even then, they didn't get on 24/7, right? And between you and me, I think there was some weird dark stuff went on in that house, but we don't talk about it. All I'm saying is the maid whose name I've forgotten, she saw some shit. But most families really aren't like that, especially as people get older, especially as everybody in the family becomes an adult. Technically, I'm an adult. Technically, I'm old. I'm past it, over the hill. Still feel very much like I'm a child, but not in those kind of ways. And this is what happened at work, is you would always have these people who were kind of forced Christmas cheer, right, in the office. Now, two things you should know about office working, Keiki. One, I don't want to be in the office. And two, I don't want to be in the office. These are two very important parts. And if I am in the office, I want to be working, because if I'm not working, there's no reason for me to be in the office. I can go home and just do stuff I like drink, sleep, and eat, right? If I don't have work to do, now, I'm not saying I wasn't social. I'm not saying I was polite, because I was. But if I'm being forced to go into an office, I want to be working, not meetings, not Christmas drinks or nibbles, not, oh, why don't we do this? No, right? I just want to work. If you want to be festive and happy, all power to you. I don't mind. You can put the Christmas songs on the radio and I'll listen to them, ad nauseum. I don't mind, right? You can dance around and prance around in your little Christmas outfits in the office. I don't mind. Have fun, right? Don't try and make me have fun. If I want to have fun, I'll have fun. If I don't want to have fun, leave me the fuck alone, right? And this is kind of to me, this is what the whole festive period has become, and probably was, and it's much more important in the old days where you didn't have TV. Trying to get this idea across that, because December is it's a pretty horrible month, right? You're really losing the memory of summer. Autumn's gone. The weather is starting to become horrible. UK especially, December's really only the start of the bad weather, and you're not really going to get out of it until March, April. January, February normally being around the worst weather-wise for the UK. So this idea of trying to cheer everybody up in this very dark, depressing month. I mean, I'm recording this it's 5 p.m. UK time, and hang on, did I set this up? Okay, you won't know it because you can't see it in the front, but I've got the camera pointing outside. It's pitch black. So you can kind of understand, right, why you would want to kind of have this very festive, probably trying to get the whole village, not just family, trying to get the whole village around, before it was even Christian, just, the kind of the December winter festival. You can kind of understand it. You're trying to you've probably been eating last year's turnips for God knows how many months since the summer has ended. You're down to your last good apple, and even that's, starting to rot out. So let's just put it in a pie. You can kind of understand where all this kind of stuff comes from. But we really don't live in that environment anymore, right? There is a lot of stuff to do. Most of it is not good stuff. It's not good for you. It's not good for your soul. But there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a whole host of terrible TV shows to watch. You can watch old fat men moan about Christmas on YouTube. Or, you can just doom scroll on TikTok, whatever it is you want to do, right? I completely lost my train of thought with that one. But anyway, the main takeaway for this video, which will hopefully be shorter than the first one, is I do not mind people celebrating Christmas at all. In fact, I honestly believe if you can find any kind of joy in this period, then you should, right? And if you can enjoy your family, you can enjoy your friends, you can enjoy your work colleagues, I think that is very, very good, right? It uplifts your soul. However, for the people like me who don't like forced joy, I will find joy where I find joy, and I will take it wherever I can find it. But I'm not going to pretend to be happy, pretend to be joyful just because I'm told I have to. In fact, me being the kind of person I am, that's going to send me completely the other way, and it's going to depress me the hell out. And I think a lot of people are like this. Not even people who, there's a lot of people like, oh, think of all the people who are alone at Christmas. There are probably a lot of people who are alone at Christmas who are very happy to be alone at Christmas. There will also be a load of people who are alone at Christmas who are very depressed to be alone at Christmas. I understand that. But there will also be a lot of people who are surrounded by friends and family at Christmas who are also depressed and don't want to be there, right? And I think it's this thing, you don't want to leave people alone. You don't want to exclude them. But there doesn't have to be any pressure for Christmas to be perfect, right? And or the festive period. You don't have to be happy the entire day or the entire time. It is what it is. For me, Christmas is very much for children. Trying to make the entire day, the entire festive period really, really special for those kids, and lying to them about fat men who come down chimneys, which is apparently a good thing for kids to want. Maybe we should update the Santa Claus mythology. Real stories, in case any kids are watching. That's the kind of cough I should cut out, but I bet I don't. But yeah, and then, you know, there's this kind of thing that, because a lot of people think I'm very bar humbug about Christmas, and I'm really not. I don't enjoy it myself, but that doesn't mean I want to stop anybody else enjoying it. I don't want to spread misery, and I don't want to stop the spread of joy. Just, if I want to chip in, I will. If I don't want to chip in, I won't. I think it's a very simple equation, a very simple ask, but it seems very hard, especially in my family, to ask of it. The Christmas Day is always built up. It always ends in a family argument. And I honestly don't see the point in doing it. That's my thoughts. Anyway, I hope everybody is enjoying the festive period to the level that they want. And I hope everyone continues to enjoy the festive period to the level that they want. This will probably be the last video. It won't be the last stream. Why am I talking about streams? Streams are over on a different YouTube channel. This will be the last video of the year, I would imagine. I can't see me putting anything else out before 2024. So I do. Again, I wish, you know, people enjoy the period as much as you want or as much as you don't want, right? That's my message. That's my message. You know, don't suck the fun out of it for other people. Don't force fun into people who don't want to do it. All right, just let's all just be as festive or as unfestive as we fucking want, and then let's all agree Die Hard is the best Christmas movie. Have a wonderful rest of your 2024, and I will see you rest of your 2024, 2023, and I will see you all in 2024. Goodbye for now.